Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Big Talk Pigskin. I'm your host, Bowden, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Korbin.
How we doing? How we doing?
Doing good, man. Ready to get this show on the road. For all of you guys watching this here on Friday, we're going to be previewing the upcoming game tonight, the Oregon versus Indiana game, and then we won't really get into that Miami Ole Miss game too much, considering you guys will have seen the result before we see the results.
Right.
So not too much to say about that. Maybe just give you some thoughts on those teams going forward for who goes on. Personally, for that game, Miami would benefit a lot by winning. The national championship is at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, where
Home game would be cool.
Yeah. So that's would be cool for them.
Yeah, they were the only team that would be a repeat national champion, meaning they've already won a national championship. So not too. I would like the Hurricanes to win, just personally.
I wouldn't.
I think them being good is good for football.
I don't disagree.
Like they're just one of those brands, right? Like them, Notre Dame. I don't know. I don't know. There's a really long list, but I think that's kind of a rotating list too, right? You get tired of teams.
Right.
Like, this is a team that hasn't been good in a very long time, so it's
Time
cool.
for them to come back.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool for them to sort of get their flowers, right? But yeah, I think it would be really cool to see a first time national champion, and I think we're more than likely going to get to see that. So
probably. And Ole Miss has technically won 3,
but shared, right?
Yes, they're shared, not outright. They're all claimed titles from 1958, 9, and 60. So apparently they three-peated at one point. Allegedly through claims. But, me personally, I don't really count any national championships before the 75 to 80 range.
I don't know. But I really don't know. I think as the land, think about what college football was when we were born.
Right.
It's a night and day difference, right?
So different.
That's kind of the beauty of the game. It evolves. And
yeah,
so
definitely.
I think with that evolution, we
I just didn't like you couldn't claim you didn't have a clear winner because it's all votes because they don't play 1 and 2.
True.
Like you'd have the number 1 team playing the number 5 team because of how bowl games worked, and the number 2 playing the number 3, and then somehow the number 3 team, because the top 3 are undefeated, the 3 team jumps all the way up to 1 in all the polls because they beat the number 2, even though the 1 beat the 5.
No, but I mean it is a committee still, right? And
right.
Look at sports that are old as time, gymnastics or
gymnastics, they get judged.
Yeah, exactly. It's a judging thing, right? And so there is a sort of panel with this too that the evolution of the game, I think it should be honored in the same way that people look and say, hey, why is Rutgers in the Big Ten? Like what do they really bring to the table? And it's like 250 years of or what is it? Whatever their claim to fame is, the birthplace of college football or something like.
And the New York City media
market. That's a asterisk next to that all day. But yeah, I don't know. It's important to, I think, honor the history of.
No, it definitely is. But I'm just saying, when you look at Ole Miss, you don't think, oh yeah, they've won national championships before. When you look at Miami, they did. Those were BCS era.
Yeah.
Really good Miami football teams. But yeah, I mean, it'll basically be a brand new champion, even if Ole Miss was to win it. Indiana or Oregon obviously would be a brand new champion. Mm-hmm. Neither of them have ever won. And Indiana would have a great story. So would Oregon. So yeah, let's just get kicked off with that. We're going to talk about this game here. Again, great story for either of these programs. Oregon has the most funding in college football. They have an open check due to Nike and Phil Knight. Never won a natty before. Have the chance to do it here now. Closer than they've really ever been before. Almost. I mean, that first 4-team playoff, they made it there.
Right.
They got the brakes beat off of them by Ohio State.
Crazy game.
Indiana, on the other hand, has what's an even better story considering they're the most losingest program in college football history when it comes to the Division I FBS level, maybe over all levels. I'm not sure. And 2 years ago, these guys couldn't make a bowl game. Signetti comes in and his first season takes them to the playoffs. 2 losses on the year, one of those being first round of the playoffs. And then now they're back, number 1 seed, number 1 in the nation for the first time ever this year. So
it's a really cool story.
great.
It's hard not to like. I think just from like an outside perspective, and like obviously as a Michigan fan, you have your feelings towards Indiana and like Indiana or whatever. But it was just one of those teams where it was like, oh, they're a threat, or like, hey, they're going to win the Big Ten. You know what I mean? It just wasn't one of those things. And then you have the kind of the fluke year of COVID where it was like, oh, wow, they're 8-0. But it's like, were they really a good team, right? And so this is like it's cool to see the dynasty kind of starting, right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like there's any signs of slowing, right? And I know we'll kind of touch on the portal later, but they have been a absolute shark when it comes to, like getting players and getting talent. Like, so it doesn't look like there's going to be any slowing down on the Cignetti train.
Yeah, no, doesn't seem like it. I have seen some people saying, oh, well, the Raiders signed Cignetti. Well, the Raiders get Cignetti and Mendoza.
It's ridiculous.
I don't think that happens. No. I do not see a world where Cignetti goes, yeah, I'm going to go to the NFL. I don't ever see
the
that
NFL.
happen. He doesn't have that vibe.
Here's what I'll say is that's what separates college and the NFL. I think the NFL in some vapid way, I think there's just almost like a soulless element to it, just because it is for the cash. Like
it is.
You know what I mean? Like
first and foremost, the cash.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, it's like, for me as a unfortunate, as you can see, Cincinnati Bengals fan, you have greedy owners, right? And it's these we're penny pinching with millionaires. It's unfortunate, and so that's what makes college so special. And I just don't know that the personality of Cignetti flourishes in a professional setting the same way that Urban. You know what I mean? It's very similar.
Urban did not.
It's very similar with Urban.
Saban didn't either.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, there was not a lot of success. So it's one of those things where it is a different game. It may be the same sport, but it's a different game.
So different. So different. So, I don't think he'll be gone. Obviously, Mendoza will be. He graduates this year. Heisman winner, first pick or second pick.
Right.
Could come down to this game, actually, with everybody saying this could be Dante Moore as well, from what I've seen.
I know we talk about sort of draft, like future draft, like prospects. Last week, Mel Kiper comes out and he says, Dante Moore, number 1 quarterback of this upcoming class, and literally he drops a poll today, and Fernando Mendoza, and you know what I mean. It's all for clicks.
It is all for clicks, and those are the guys up there. And this game could lead to who goes first
potentially, but I think at the end of the day, the combine is like it's just this realm where certain quarterbacks are blown insanely out of proportion, and we've seen this year after year. Zach Wilson, right?
Will Levis is the guy.
Will Levis, yeah. Like, come on, mayonnaise in his coffee, and
he went in the second round. And dude, like I remember.
He was a 33rd pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, second round.
But
he actually might have been 32nd that year. There might have
Miami.
That was the year.
That was Miami.
Yeah. Yep. Didn't
maybe we're wrong on that, but I do remember Miami getting the pick.
Yeah, it was right around that time. I think it was that year. But and again, we're a little off topic here, but like I go and look back at that, and back then, during the season, nobody said anything that good about Will Levis. So like he's third, fourth round guy. 2 weeks before the draft, they're like he's going number 1 overall. Right. Overblow this guy, like just blow everything out of proportion. Yeah, and then draft comes up, he goes second round, first pick of the second round. It's like what just happened in this 3-month time span? Right. He went from a 4th round pick to the first overall pick to going early second round.
But there is a nature to like when you look at the best quarterbacks in the NFL, some of them weren't great in college. A lot of them were. A lot of them are Heisman winners, and that translates to NFL MVPs and stuff. But there is a certain sort of build that people are sort of like after, and to kind of circle back to like a Big Ten sort of thing, like Drew Aller. What happens with him, right?
Yeah, and no eligibility left.
Right, and he is one of those guys where it's like the statuesque build, or excuse me, a statue like ish play, right? Ben Roethlisberger sort of thing, running if you need to. That's like people would kill for that like 10 years ago, like in a quarterback prospect, and now it's like
You should be able to do both.
Yeah, your college career didn't really come to fruition, and now you're here, and it's like, what now? Does the NCAA grant you a medical redshirt? Because you surprised me with that too. I was like, well, no, he's gonna come back to Penn State. That's gonna be that, and then it's like, oh no, he's out of eligibility.
Yeah, and I thought he would get one. You know, he went down in that 6th game.
Mm-hmm.
It was late in that game, though. I think had that been a first half injury, since it wouldn't have been completely halfway through.
I think it's the 4-game. It's the 4-game rule. I think.
Well, the 4-game with the normal red shirt, yeah, but the medical, you can kind of get away with it a little bit more.
And they still may.
But usually, once you hit 6 games, they're like, nope, you played half the season. If it was game 5, he got hurt, he probably would have gotten a medical red shirt if he was even looking for one.
Potentially,
I don't know. Maybe he didn't even apply for one. I don't know the knowledge on that. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he went, I'm just going to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
James is gone. Coach Franklin's gone. I'm just going to go to the NFL.
It's a real bombshell situation. Like it literally,
a
nuke went off at the worst time for him. He gets hurt. He goes down. His coach is fired. Complete turnover. Brand new coach. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. That it is an unfortunate, like, kind of turn of events. Like this time last year, we're talking about him being the 3rd overall pick, and he decides to go back to Penn State to win the national championship. And man, was he wrong.
Yeah, it just did not work out for them. Let's get back over to this Oregon-Indiana game. We took a little off topic there, but hey, who cares? Mendoza, again, the Heisman, coming in this game, 36 touchdowns on 6 interceptions this year. Really good numbers. Dante Moore, 28-9 on that same ratio. I mean, we already saw these guys match up. Right. It was a great game. It was a 10-point game, 30-20. Indiana beat Oregon at Oregon, which is impressive. And I'm curious to see how this one goes. I'm very, very excited to see this game.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah, I think both these teams are getting really hot right at the right times, right? I know the last episode we kind of touched on it where it was, if you sit, you don't play great, right? And that wasn't the exact verbiage we used, but these teams that were sitting, it was Ohio State somehow getting thumped by Miami and Georgia, Ole Miss pulling off the shocker, right? And
there's only one team in the 12-team playoff who has won a game after sitting.
Indiana.
The Indiana Hoosiers.
It's crazy. And it's not a team I'd bet against, I'll be honest with you.
That's my exact thoughts.
My gut right now. And I love Dan Landing. I think this is a case of overall roster it's Oregon, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, overall talent, man, that's Oregon. Oregon's got to beat by a mile.
But culture-wise, it's Indiana. And so this is people will say, oh, defense wins championships. No. Culture wins championships. You know what I mean? Like these guys,
100%.
Indiana, you can see it even watching them, right? They're a really fun team to watch. Not many times have they been really shut down this entire season. Oregon, I've seen it. Your Iowa Hawkeyes. Like I wouldn't say they had a down year by any means, but underperformed to your guys' expectations.
They underperformed. They should have been better.
Yeah, and so that's a team that kind of takes them
Iowa played both these teams really well. That's actually the only team who's really given Indiana much of them and Ohio State. Penn State. Yes, those 3 schools are the closest games Indiana's had all year.
Well, and then you look at the Oregon Penn State game. Look at how Penn State ends the season. It's
right.
So it's like, are they an actual good team? And then maybe it's an environment thing, but I don't know. I don't think you can really compare wins and stuff like that. We are dealing with 2 entirely different, like sort of two different mojos right now. That these aren't the same teams that played. When did they play? They played mid-October or
yes, it was October 11th.
Yeah,
I just pulled that up. So going into the 4th quarter, it was 13-20 Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And Indiana then throws a pick 6 The game gets tied up. Beginning of the fourth quarter, game gets tied up. Mendoza throws a pick six. It's 20-20. And then they just keep firing.
Yeah.
They kept firing. They came back. I mean, they scored 10 more points after that. Their defense held strong. And, obviously we've said it a million times. Hard to beat a team twice. It just is. But I think when you look
There's
at
any team that can do it, though.
That's my exact thing. Like that, it's this Indiana Hoosiers team. I mean, they're so good. They are so good. And their defense has shown time and time again they can hold when they need to. I mean, you look at like all these close games that they had, right? Penn State game. Obviously, their offense kind of bailed them out of that one on that amazing catch at the end of the game. But, I mean, their defense still 24 points.
Right.
It's not a lot, if we're being honest.
I hope we're not giving Indiana the kiss of death like we did Texas Tech.
I hope not either. And I'll talk some good about Oregon here.
Yeah.
And again, like you look at the Iowa game, they scored 20 points. Indiana held Iowa's offense to 15. This was a lot better Iowa offense that averaged a lot higher than 15 this year. And obviously Mark Gronowski got hurt in that game before the last drive, but still,
shit happens.
That's a great game by Indiana. They held a Big Ten opponent, under 20 points. They've done that multiple times. Illinois held to 10. They held Ohio State to 10. They only scored 13, but that's, one of the best defenses in the country they played. And you look on that Oregon end, that defense does the same thing over there. Same thing. I mean, they had a close game with Penn State as well.
Yeah.
They held Penn State 24 points. Indiana, they held to 30 when they played them earlier this year. Indiana scores a lot of points.
Yeah, and the thing is Oregon has shown time and time again too that they can sort of hang with the best of them.
Yes,
and so it is one of those things where these are two really, really, really good programs that are getting to square off against each other. When it comes to what Dan Lanning has been building over there the past couple of years, this is a playoff team last year, Big Ten champion. Correct. Yeah. Big Ten champions. So really sort of, I wouldn't say turning around. Oregon has been a team that's been sort of a perennial powerhouse sort of our entire lives. So
they've always been really good,
right?
But never get the.
Can they get it done? And I'm rooting for them, right? As a Big Ten fan, I'd love them to, but I just hate that they're squaring off against the beast that is Indiana. I
wish this game would have been the championship.
Yeah, I do too. I really do too. Because I think the other side of the bracket is substantially weaker. These are the two best teams. I think these are the two best teams in the nation. So it'll be a treat. And then I think whoever's the winner of this game is crowned the national champion. That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I think the winner of this game will be the national champion. It's going to be a great battle back and forth. I mean, again, this is a rematch. We've seen this game before. I think it's going to look very, very similar. And honestly, I think it might end right around the same point range. I think they're going to give up. They're not going to give up substantially amount more than they did the first time, and maybe those defenses buckle up a little bit more. But I just think that Indiana offense has been so hot recently.
Yeah.
And by recently, I just mean their last game that they played against Alabama. Dominant.
Yeah, I mean, and the Ohio State game, it's like you got to win. You got to find a way to win those games, and they are.
You do, right? And they have all year.
That's what's so impressive. But the teams that they're supposed to beat,
they beat.
They are. It's a bludgeoning.
It's not a competition.
No, it's not. And so this is a hurdle. This will be a hurdle for them, though. This isn't an easy game. This isn't a walkthrough by any stretch of the imagination. So, my gut obviously says Indiana here. I would not be surprised at all if Oregon finds a way to get it done, though. I really am a huge fan of Dan Lanning. I like Fernando Mendoza more as a quarterback prospect if I'm the Cleveland Browns than I do Dante Moore. But again,
the Raiders had the first pick.
Right. Or excuse me. Yeah. The Oakland Vegas Raiders. I think, I don't know. I still like Mendoza just as a gut feeling, but I don't know. This game is a real clash of the Titans, so it will be interesting to kind of see how it shakes out.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. I think I still favor the Indiana Hoosiers in this one, but I think this will be really close. I can very well see this game going into overtime. Could very well see that happening. I think this is a field goal finish if it's in regular time.
I don't know.
If we don't go to extras, man, I think this is a field goal. Field goal wins it. Who has the ball last?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I could see this being like an Indiana bludgeoning. Could be.
It could be. It very well could be. I mean, I'm no genius. I'm not perfect. That could very well happen, and I won't lie. I won't be surprised if Indiana destroys Oregon.
Yeah,
I would be surprised if Oregon destroyed Indiana.
I would too. That would be a bit of a shock.
I just don't think it'll be a blowout. I think this is going to be a very competitive, close game. That as the last team who has the ball probably is the team that wins.
Yeah.
And on that note, flip over to the transfer portal here a bit. A lot of guys in, so many.
A third of college football.
Yeah,
it's insane. It's not good.
Just kind of want to highlight some big names. I don't know if you have any on the top of your head. A guy I think
Josh Hoover.
Yes, I just said two guys I think of staying on that Indiana note. Josh Hoover from TCU, quarterback. So he's going to come in, probably start, I assume, and will guide the younger Mendoza another year of growth. Young Mendoza, Alberto, takes over the year after, would be my guess, if he decides to stick around. He hasn't jumped in. I doubt he will. And then Nick Marsh, Michigan State's running back, is also transferring to Indiana. Those are guys to look at. Those are huge, both of them. It just makes me think this team's going to continue on to next year in the same sort of,
definitely. Locked and loaded. And what's interesting about Cignetti, and this is what one of my favorite things actually about him is, or the thing I really honestly respect him the most for, how many 5-stars are on his roster?
Couldn't tell you. Not many.
Zero.
Is it zero?
There's not one. How many 5-stars are on Oregon's roster?
A lot.
5.
Really? Only 5?
Yeah. Which, to be fair, I think of all the teams in the college football or in the playoffs, they do have the most. And one of the things that I think definitely inflates that number is when you think of the amount of 5-stars that are in each class, you're probably thinking in relation to NCAA, right? Or college football 26.
Yeah, there are a lot more over there.
That's what I'm saying. There's obviously a lot more in the game than what there are actually in real life. I think like average class, you have like 10. So you're, you know what I mean? So, but impressive nonetheless by Oregon. And it's definitely a talent gap. So what I love so much about Cignetti is he's really taken over this program and made it into like I'd almost say like a blue collar, like, hey, we're going to develop you, right? Like we're developing, and he's obviously putting together a great staff. His staff has stayed with him, since they were making $8,000 together, so
his coordinators have been there a long time.
Right. And so it's cool with the culture that Indiana's built. And if they can cap this off with a national championship, it's
insane.
It's absolute cinema. It's like it's college football. Like it's what you ask for. It's what you hope for.
It's the type of stuff you do in a rebuild on the video game.
Exactly.
That happens in real life. It just doesn't happen.
2 years.
And now it might unfold right in front of our faces.
When is the last time something like this happened? It hasn't, probably.
If it did, it's before my time.
Nick
Saban, to be fair, I guess maybe Nick Saban, because he took that team. It's different. It's so different. I understand. It's so different.
Bear Bryant.
It is.
Right?
I mean, Saban's like 20 years disconnected from Barrett.
No, I know, but it's a
culture thing. It's a historically built up culture in a program. Yes. Yeah. It's just they went from being very, very bad for a solid 10, 15 years to, Nick Saban's there, one bad season his first year and then flips it around. But even Cignetti didn't have one bad season at Indiana. He went, I'm going to come in here and win.
Yeah, whoever was on the hiring search and decided Cignetti,
great.
Hang a banner for them. You know what I mean? Like whoever was on that board of directors at Indiana University, University of Indiana. It's IU. Yeah. Sorry.
IU.
Yeah.
IU.
No. Shout out to you. Because
Yeah.
completely even if this doesn't come to fruition, what you've put into that school, and sort of like it's not something you can fabricate. So it's impressive.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. We'll move on. I'm gonna touch on the Hawkeyes transfer portal just for a second. There's not many guys in here.
Yeah.
Two people are officially in. We heard today that Cohen Ettringer, Iowa safety, he is going to enter right before the bowl game last week. He said he was going to stay next year, not go to the draft and not transfer. Now he's transferring, so that sucks.
Yeah.
And
You're
then
having a lot of that this year.
It is.
Players are not honoring,
and we'll get to that Washington
even contracts right now. Yeah, like
we'll get to that Washington one. I was brought in 3 guys in the portal, some FCS guys. Excited to see them play next year. Don't know too much about them. Michigan here. What have they done in the portal?
So Michigan, a lot of people have entered.
Which makes sense.
A lot of people have been retained though too. Basically, every big name that I've seen that has basically said, "Hey, I'm dipping, I'm out of here," has kind of redacted that statement and kind of turned it around and said they're coming back. Obviously, the retention of Bryce Underwood has a humongous impact. Huge impact.
Huge
on the entire culture. So good on Kyle Whittingham to be able to retain him. I think that kind of was the key to a successful off season here. So I don't know. The only person I've seen that we have signed, we are having an issue attempting to bring players in, but a lot of really good programs are. Texas,
Right.
For example, I think it's kind of a funny situation going on over there. Arch Manning agrees to take a pay cut, like out of his sort of NIL stipend, and to get players to put together this 2020. And they've got like 3 players, and like one's a long snapper. Now Michigan, the only player that they have signed is a long snapper out of Pitt. I don't remember the kid's name right now, but that's where we're at right now. It's not looking good for my boys in blue.
It's early,
rightfully so. Yeah,
it hasn't even been open. Well, by the time you guys see this, it's been open a week.
Mm-hmm.
It's been open for a week. It's not been a long time. So I wouldn't worry too much because I feel like Iowa hasn't done anything yet either.
I'm not.
Like even last year we had a great portal, so that's why I'm kind of like we have 3 FCS defensive guys coming in.
Right.
One was a freshman last year at Villanova, safety. He was like either a freshman All-American in the FCS or an actual All-American in the FCS. So I'm excited for him. Yeah. The other guys I know nothing about.
Right.
Not yet. Swing over to some of the other bigger teams. Like I know, obviously, like you look at Nebraska, Rayola's leaving. We already know that. They're losing a couple of guys here, bringing in some. Looks like they brought in a couple guys from Iowa State. Stay local, I guess, but nothing huge on their end. I'm really curious. I haven't looked at Ohio State's yet.
They've lost
Keaton Holtz.
They've lost he's going to Louisville, their backup quarterback. I know that they lost a couple defensive players, strangely defensive players to South Florida.
Yeah. You know, it was weird that the defensive guys were following the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, and maybe it was just one. I'm not going to lie, but even seeing that, it was like strange, right?
Yeah, so, and maybe he probably wasn't going to play, is my guess.
Yeah,
and
probably not.
Maybe by region, that's who was recruiting him, was Brian Hartline. So maybe he has a decent connection with the guy and wants to follow him since he wasn't playing. It was CJ Hicks,
who was a linebacker, correct?
Edge, yeah. Yeah, not too many on there, and really just some of those big guys in the portal. Indiana is kind of like, well, Penn State. It's the Iowa State, the Penn State Cyclones now. It's like the entire team is following Matt Campbell to Penn State, which I mean kind of adds up, but it's a little interesting.
Yeah, I remember telling you, I was like, "There's no way the talent gap is going to be huge." So
you did. You kept telling me, you said
this could be
there's a difference in playing at Iowa State versus.
I'm telling you,
and I'm not saying there isn't. I totally agree, but I kept saying Matt Campbell's going to bring his guys.
I hope as an alumni, I competed there for 4 years. I loved it. Loved my time there. I wouldn't call myself a Nittany Lion by any stretch of the imagination. I'm saying like off the track and field, right? Go blue, but I don't know. I don't know that this is gonna. I hope for them it shakes well, but I don't know that the Penn State Cyclones is gonna pan out very well. I hope for Matt Campbell's sake it does. But
I love Matt Campbell.
Yeah, I told you, I was like, I don't love that this is happening. I think there is a discrepancy between, and it's the same thing with Kiffin, or excuse me, not Kiffin, Luke Fickell. It's like, dude, there is a different caliber of player that you were recruiting at Cincinnati than you were Wisconsin, and it's arguably the same region, right? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing with Matt Campbell and Penn State. You know, they're sort of a crossover there, and through just the Midwest, but I mean.
Right.
I don't know. I think there is a discrepancy in talent that's not being honored there.
No, and I don't disagree, but I think he's going, hey, most of my guys are seniors or juniors, and he's going to get them kind of rolling. I mean, Rocco Becht, he's a good quarterback. He is. He's a good quarterback. He's not fantastic. He's not bad, though. Like, that's a solid quarterback.
Formidable, you know.
I'm saying if Rocco, and this hurts me to say as an Iowa fan, if Rocco would have played for Iowa instead of Iowa State, these Iowa teams would have been a lot better this year than last year.
Yeah, definitely.
They would lose. Well, obviously, you would have beaten Iowa State this year if that was the case. And one of those other three, USC, Oregon, or Indiana, you win at least one more of those. Like, this would have only been a 2-loss team with Rocco there. And that's not to say anything bad about Mark Gronowski, but his passing wasn't as good as Rocco's has been.
Right.
So, yeah. And then also Brahmeyer, I believe is how you say his name, the tight end from Iowa State coming over. He's good.
Yeah.
He's really good. Benjamin Brahmer. He's a dog. Like, that is a huge grab. Anybody in the portal would have been lucky to get him. Anyone.
Yeah. Do we know if Ohio State's landed anyone?
Nobody huge. I don't believe. Give me 1 second. See. Nobody huge as of yet. They got a tight end, Mason Williams, out of Ohio, the Bobcats. That's the only guy so far that I'm seeing per 24/7's website.
Okay.
So nothing huge there yet.
And it could be a later game thing. You know what I mean? Right.
Right. It's early. The portal is very, very early right now. Oregon, I don't think's really done a whole lot.
Kind of focusing on the task at hand, you know.
Yeah, and then Indiana, obviously, those two guys that they brought in, Nick Marsh and Josh Hoover, dogs, absolute dogs. Wisconsin brought in a pretty good quarterback from Old Dominion, Illinois. They bring in a quarterback yet?
I
thought they did.
I'm not sure about Illinois. I do remember hearing about the guy from Old Dominion.
Yeah, I might be wrong here. And okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. My screen is tweaking out on me.
That's how it goes.
So, but yeah, I mean, the portal's been huge. It's going to keep going. There's going to be more stuff. What we've said today is going to be wrong.
It's the tip of the iceberg. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's going to be.
It's just going to continue. So
the one thing we didn't hit on, Washington. Watch the Washington quarterback situation.
Very strange.
He signed a contract last week saying, hey, I'm coming back, this NIL. Signed a full contract, agreed. It's a binding contract legally. You have to honor it. You have to. And now he's saying, I'm going to go in the portal.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to leave. I'm going to do what's best for me. And Washington said, no, nobody.
Well, I think it was a bit of a panic button by Washington because they were like,
well, they're not looking.
Well, they're like, no, we have this contract. And he was like, yeah, I'm still going. And so they took it up
have to release you to the portal, though.
Well, they took it up with the Big Ten, and they were like, hey, you guys have to step in and do something in this situation. And so I think it will be interesting to see what kind of happens there. And what is going on in your camp where you are agreeing to terms with Washington.
Yeah.
And I hate what is happening this offseason where like I'm getting notifications on my phone, breaking news. What's the quarterback at
Ole Miss?
Ole Miss.
Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah, Trinidad Chambliss. He's re-signing with with Ole Miss. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
re-signing.
dude,
That's not how that works.
no, man. Like you agreed to go there for 4 years.
The
3 to 4
national
years.
letter of
Yeah.
intent used to mean something.
It used to. It doesn't anymore.
It doesn't mean anything.
It's unfortunate.
It means nothing. And I know a lot of these guys transferred in there to these spots, like Trinidad, obviously. His situation's a little different because he still has to get a waiver approved to even come back next year.
Right.
As a 6th year, he actually doesn't have another season. So that's kind of we'll see what happens with him. But yeah, like you look at Washington, Demond, Williams, dude, if you're thinking of leaving in the first place, don't sign something.
No.
And if you sign something, dude, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, that's it. Like
you have a legally binding contract sitting there. Now you're trying to get out of it, and they're going, no, we're not going to let you.
So what that
they
tells
have to
me,
release them to the portal.
What that tells me is someone came
released.
to him. Someone came to him with a better offer.
100%. And
Like
now he's not going to be able to get it. The only way he could really leave at this point without entering the transfer portal is to unenroll from Washington and then enroll somewhere else. But with his whole binding contract situation, there might be a lawsuit.
There's 100%.
Well, I'm going to say, like, even if he was to leave, there's probably some sort of way written in there that if that was to happen, he can't play football for that school.
Right. Or the contract is voided.
He'd have to sit out a year, something like that.
Yeah.
And he probably doesn't. I don't think he has another year after this.
Mm.
So he's got to figure it out. I'm sure he's probably going to end up playing at Washington next year or owing the University of Washington some money.
Yeah.
In some way. And that's a very odd and interesting situation.
Mm.
I don't even know what to think of that. This should not be a problem in college football.
No, it shouldn't. It's unfortunate.
It shouldn't be. But, yeah. Just not great. But thank you guys for tuning in here today. We'll let you guys go. Make sure to enjoy that game tonight. That Oregon versus Indiana, the Peach Bowl, playing down in Atlanta, Georgia. Enjoy that, and tune back in with us on Monday while we recap this game and maybe talk a little bit about who the national championship game will be up against. That we'll see what Big Ten team we have. My personal prediction is seeing Indiana Ole Miss play.
I think it's going to be Indiana Miami.
Yep, that's very well possible. But thank you guys again, and have a great rest of your day.
See ya.